This is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Brevet.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. USA. Celebrity siblings. The Animal Kingdom. American history. British poetry. And ends in U. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player one, make a selection. The name of the ukulele means flea in the native language of this state, where it was introduced by the Portuguese. Okay, player one.
Yeah!
Right. You again, player one. The state nut of Alabama isn't your kooky cousin. It's this thin-shelled pie ingredient. It's player one. Nope. Here's the response we were looking for. The pecan. Select again. Answer. It's the Daily Double. You are in first place. Player one, give us a wager. Answer. Caroling to the animals is a holiday tradition at the Lincoln Park Zoo in this Midwest city. That's right. Way to go. Player one, back to you. Its state song says, "Follow the old Kit Carson trail until desert meets the hills." The correct response is Nevada. Select again. Alphabetically, this southern state's counties run from Adams to Yazoo. Here's the correct response. Mississippi. Please pick again, player one. Number one of these by Shakespeare, "From fairest creatures we desire increase," urges a handsome man to have kids. Okay, player one. That is correct. Please pick again, player one. Lord Byron was a major influence on this later poet lord who wrote 1842's The Lord of Burleigh. Here's the correct response. Alfred Lord Tennyson. You again, player one. Blake asked, "Little this, who made thee? Gave thee clothing of delight, softest clothing, woolly, bright." We're talking about lamb. Player one. Pick again. Leaving his girl for his duty, Lovelace wrote, "I could not love thee, dear, so much loved I not this more." Here's the correct response. Honor. Please pick again, player one. This British poet got romantic about La Belle Dame sans Merci. Here's what we wanted. John Keats. Player one, back to you. After General Cornwallis surrendered at Yorktown, this American traitor accompanied him back to England. Okay, player one. You got it. We return to you, player one. In 1898, Americans were urged to remember the battleship named for this state. It sank in Havana Harbor. Let's hear it, player one. Hey, you're right. Select again. This January 1st, 1863 document liberated all slaves in regions still under Confederate control. Okay, player one. Correct. You get to pick again, player one. The New Deal refers to the economic recovery and social reforms implemented by this U.S. president. Okay, player one. Yes.
Yeah! Woo!
Select again. In 1609, this captain was injured in a gunpowder explosion and lost his leadership role in Jamestown. Yes, player one? That's right. Way to go. Player one, choose again. Both Roy Orbison and Linda Ronstadt sang about a blue one. Let's hear it, player one. No, sorry. Here's what we were looking for. Bayou. You again, player one. An Eastern spiritual leader or a recognized leader in a field. Here's what we were looking for. A guru. Player one, choose again. From the Old French for bundle, it's the bundle of clothing and linens a bride collects for her marriage. Here's the correct response. A trousseau. Please pick again, player one. This world capital is located about 180 miles southeast of Miami. Here's the correct response. Nassau. Player one, choose again. These Bantu-speaking people make up the largest language group in the Republic of South Africa. Here's the response we were looking for. The Zulu. You again, player one. These animals of the order Chiroptera are the only mammals that can truly fly. We're talking about bats. Player one, back to you. Gridiron stars Peyton and Eli. We're talking about Manning. Player one, choose again. Music makers Branford and WYNTON. Here's what we were looking for. Marsalis. Please pick again, player one. This feisty Thai fish blows sticky bubbles to make a nest, then puts the eggs in its mouth and blows them in the nest. Here's the response we were looking for. Fighting fish. We return to you, player one. Muskrats and woodrats belong to this order of mammals. Let's hear it, player one. Correct. Please pick again, player one. Actresses Meg and Jennifer. Let's hear it, player one. No. The correct response is Tilly. You again, player one. Filmmakers Joel and Ethan. Here's the correct response. Cohen. We return to you, player one. All right, here with the clue is Kelly.
If you see one of these under the sea, look, but don't touch. The spines can be poisonous.
Yes, player one?
Yeah!
That is correct. Player one. Pick again. Fruit and lizards, yum, are favorite foods of the coati, also known by this longer name. Here's what we wanted. The coatimundi. Let's have a look at the $1,000 clue. Figure skaters Sarah and Emily. Here's what we were looking for. Hughes. The Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. A in geography. U.S. city history. What I really want to do is direct. Bestsellers of the decade. French class. And did you plan it that way? Let's get back into this now. You have control of the board. Orbiting at about 67 million miles, it's the second planet from the Sun. Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah.
Right. Please pick again, player one. Its moon, Ganymede, is the largest in the solar system. Okay, player one.
Yeah.
Correct. We return to you, Player One. The least dense planet in the solar system. It would actually float if you could find a big enough tub to put it in. Okay, Player One. That's right. Way to go. We return to you, Player One. In 2005, NASA experimented with a low-pressure greenhouse to grow plants on this carbon dioxide-rich planet. Player One? Good for you. We return to you, Player One. In 1781, it became the first planet discovered in modern times. Here's the correct response. Uranus. Player One, choose again. This Missouri city wasn't named for Scott or Janice, but for the Reverend Harris G., an early settler there. Here's the correct response. Joplin. Player One, pick again. 2 months before the Declaration of Independence, the Rhode Island Independence Act was signed in this city. Here's the response we were looking for. Providence. You again, Player One. It was Arizona's territorial capital from 1867 to 1877, and a university was founded there in 1885. Here's what we were looking for. Tucson. Player One, pick again. Indianapolis was laid out in a wheel pattern inspired by this other major city some 500 miles away. The correct response is Washington, D.C. Player One, choose again. Jimmy?
It was uninhabited when it was chosen as a territorial capital in 1836 and named for a president who died that year.
Yes, Player One? Sorry. The correct response is Madison. Player One, you pick again, please. Jaws and Jonathan Livingston Seagull. It's Player One. Good. You get to pick again, Player One. Red Storm Rising and The Prince of Tides. We're talking about the 1980s. You again, Player One. The Agony and the Ecstasy. And You Only Live Twice. Here's the response we were looking for. The 1960s. Player One, you pick again, please. Forever Amber and The Naked and the Dead. We're talking about the 1940s. Player One, pick again. Answer. The first of the two daily doubles. And you have the lead. Decide on your wager, Player One. Here is your daily double clue. ARROWSMITH and The Age of Innocence. Hey, you're right. We return to you, Player One. He designed titles for silent films before he made us scream over birds and psychos. We're talking about Alfred Hitchcock. Player One, back to you for our next selection. Years before directing Batman and Robin, he had been a costume designer for Woody Allen, who encouraged him to direct. It's Player One. No, that's not right. Here's the correct response. Joel Schumacher. You again, Player One. This dancer and choreographer turned director for the Broadway musical Redhead, which starred Gwen Verdon. Here's what we wanted. Bob Fosse. You again, Player One. This playwright gave Jessica Lange a big role when he directed the film Far North. Maybe he was a fool for love. We're talking about Sam Shepard. Please pick again, Player One. No slouch as an artist himself, Julian Schnabel directed the 1996 film about this Haitian-American graffiti artist. Here's what we were looking for. Jean-Michel Basquiat. Player 1. Pick again. Fin de siècle refers specifically to the ending of one of these time periods. Player 1. Correct. You again, Player 1. In French, the English Channel is called la manche, meaning this part of a shirt or coat. Player 1. That's not it. We're talking about the sleeve. Player 1, you pick again, please. Literally half-world, it's a class of women of dubious reputation. The correct response is the demi-monde. You again, Player 1. Literally, à la mode doesn't mean with ice cream, but this two-word phrase. Yes, Player 1? Correct. Player 1, back to you. Answer. The other daily double. You are currently in the lead. Player 1, give us a wager. All right, here's your clue. It's the branch of cooking devoted to prepared meat products such as ham and pâté. No, sorry. Here's the correct response. Charcuterie. Select again. This ancient city is the capital of Greece. Yes, Player 1? Right you are. You again, Player 1. Here's Jimmy.
It's the name of the island seen here, mate.
Yes, Player 1? Right. Player 1, you pick again, please. Mont Blanc is the highest peak in these mountains. Yes, Player 1? You got it. Player 1, pick again. Kabul is its capital. Let's hear it, Player 1.
Yeah!
And the last clue for $2,000. Known to the Romans as Numidia, it borders the Mediterranean. Here's what we wanted. Algeria. You are moving on to Final Jeopardy, which will continue after these messages. Here's the Final Jeopardy category. Poets. Please enter your wager. The Final Jeopardy clue is as follows. Fired from a job for laziness, he wrote, I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. Did you come up with the correct response? With that correct response, you will gain. You've come out ahead as our champion, Player 1. Thanks for playing. We'll see you next time.